Australia mean anything extra to you? Because they were the world's biggest best cricket team, 16 wins. Always it was, I know you will say 11 men and all that, but it was to a degree Tendulkar versus Australia. Up to a point it was. That's the truth.
So every time, people would say that it is Tendulkar versus Vaughan or Tendulkar versus McGrath or Lee, whatever it was. And I would always say that it was India versus Australia. It's not about individuals. A couple of individuals will be there, won't be there, but India will always play Australia and Australia will always play India. So let's not go into individuals, but individuals who can put their hand up and say that, okay, I'm the one who's going to deliver in this series. It gave tremendous satisfaction after the series, looked back and the performances were good. Then one felt really, really happy and satisfied with the result.
So that was the point, that when you're playing a pink ball test, when you're playing a series like this after what has been a very challenging year, the series in terms of hype, your friend Saurav says this is the milestone series. How important do you think it is for a Virat or a Pujara or a Rahane or any of these current batters that to leave a mark? I mean, why am I doing this interview today? Because over 20 years, you have left a legacy that perhaps will remain unrivaled. How important is it for any of these people, even Australians, a Smith or a Manas, Labuschagne or anyone, to perform in a series like this?
Without any doubt, I can tell you that the whole world is waiting for this series. And, especially after pandemic, everyone is looking forward to these kind of activities, and this is without any doubt the biggest series, I would say. Yes, the Ashes were also big, but this is as big, I would say. And not just the batters, but I feel even the bowlers, they'll also be looking forward to this. It's not about only scoring big runs, it's also about not allowing opposition to score big. If you have to win test matches, you have to score big and not allow them to score big if they bat first. I think it's all about keeping them under 300. It all depends on the kind of surfaces they would play on. But ideally under 300, I would say, if it's a normal track, sometimes you get really helpful tracks, and there the numbers change. And if India is batting, then you need to get closer to 400 in the first innings.
One question on Ajinkya specifically, because I know he looks up to you crazily. As leader, what will this be for him? I mean, is it going to be sort of more in the mind because he's a good batter, but he's never led in a series which is, of as much hype? Virat's come back. If you were to give some advice to him from
if I'm
what
not
you've
mistaken, Ajinkya led once and coincidentally was in Australia.
Yeah, but like a full, like a three series kind of thing. Yeah,
not 3 test series. This is going to be slightly different. But having interacted with Ajinkya, I know that he's got a very smart brain and balanced. He's aggressive, but it's controlled aggression. And whatever time I've spent with him, I know that he's a hard-working player. He takes nothing for granted. And then if you're working hard, if you're sincere, honest in your preparations, the result will inevitably follow. And that is what I'm hoping for. That the team should just prepare themselves to the best of their ability, which I'm sure they would. The results will follow. Don't be focused on that. Focus on the process, and the process will take care of the result.
I will now throw my 2 short balls at you. You will hit them for over third man. Fine. First one, of the many hundreds that you've got in Australia, you've got to choose one for me and give me a reason why. And why are you picking that particular 100? Whether it's the 2 in 92 or 99 or 2000, whatever. Give me one and tell me why. And the second one is, I've asked you this 200 times, each time you've left the ball.
Let me first answer you the first question. Uri, I think without any doubt, 1992, my Perth 100. Because at that time I was only 19, and you go to Australia, you get 100 at Perth, and that was a good bowling attack.
So that was boy to man.
Yeah, I mean, then I felt after that I was prepared to play in any part of the world. no problems, because in Australia during that period we had also played a tri series, and tri series happened after the third test. So this was a 5-test series. So we played 3 test matches. Then there was a tri series, India, Australia, West Indies, and then we went to Adelaide and Perth. So in between, when West Indies played the tri series, they had Curtly Ambrose, Malcolm Marshall, Patrick Patterson, Anderson Cummins. So they had a good bowling attack, and I got to play quality fast bowling there also in the middle, and that changed me completely. And after I got 100 at Perth, Saurav teases me because when I was batting in, I was going to bat the next day in Sydney. I used to carry my match back to the room. Suddenly at 2:30 a.m., Saurav is watching me lying in bed quietly, pretending to be asleep, and I am doing my drills in front of the mirror. That this is how I'm going to bat tomorrow. So he teases me, and we continued sharing a room. And Saurav, even when I got 100 there in Perth, Saurav was very much there. So we discussed all these things. So I would say Perth has to be the one which was a defining moment for me in my career, because after that I felt a different way.
Wow. I mean, you've been my hero, so no question. Finally, I've thrown at this question at you 200 times. 10 innings, 134, comes to you, goes to Australia, 400s in that series. Will you give me something today? What did you tell Virat Kohli? Comes back from England in 2014, goes to you. You guys do something. He goes to Australia, 400s, defines him and changes him. Will you give me something? Something happened there.
He's coming back after first test match, so you can ask him for sure.
This is the 20th time you've left this ball. I'll keep asking you this.
Stays between us. Yes, I'm glad I was able to share whatever I felt with him, and it kind of helped, I'd like to believe. And he's coming back, so you can ask him.
Okay, I hope he comes back after a very good first test match, but I hope you listen to this conversation and you will know that why this man is the greatest to have played this game. The greatest. Maybe Sir Donald Bradman is the only one who, yes. But otherwise, this is the greatest. This is the best you will get from anybody ever on India versus Australia. Sachin Tendulkar, what you've given us are memories of a lifetime. Before this interview, I went back to YouTube and just was watching, and I was telling my folks, at 19, someone was scoring these runs at Perth, for God's sake. Now, you were blessed, but with that blessing, you worked the hardest I ever know. That mesh created the legend of Sachin Tendulkar. Stay like you are, and as I said, you will always remain a serious inspiration to me. Thank you very much for speaking.
Thank you so much.